So now that all the dust is settled from the most recent Nintendo Direct presentation that by all accounts was a huge hit with fans, we saw massive announcements for various different types of games there, updated content roadmaps, and specifically what we will focus on for today's video, the Booster Course Pass DLC Wave 4 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that is scheduled to complete at the end of 2023. And you guys may remember a video we made previously on the channel when we discussed that. Surprisingly, with Wave 3, the application for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was updated, and Nintendo actually added in new core features to the game itself that were not there before. And that really made me theorize and speculate around the idea that maybe Nintendo is treating Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as somewhat of a Mario Kart Ultimate, and we may be seeing bigger additions than what any of us were prepared for in these Booster Course Waves. And of course, in Wave 4, we got the confirmation that we will also be seeing support for new characters added. And in today's video, we have to walk through an interesting confirmation that Nintendo will continue to support adding in new characters to this game. And we need to talk about what that means when it comes to new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe content throughout the rest of 2023 and what this game will ultimately become right now. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, today we are discussing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the Booster Course DLC that we originally saw revealed to us back at the February Nintendo Direct last year. We are now, it's hard to believe, but we're halfway through the updates, and we're about to be more than that because Wave 4 will be released in spring of 2023, and you can obviously expect Wave 5 to hit sometime over the summer and Wave 6 to hit towards the end of 2023, fully completing this update roadmap. One thing, as I mentioned earlier in the intro of the video, we noticed following the Wave 3 update was the addition of a custom items feature to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's application, and that was very interesting to me because Nintendo is now entertaining the idea of actually adding in new core game level functionality to this thing and not just making it additional Mario Kart Tour tracks, classic tracks, and even some brand new from the ground up tracks like we've seen supported. And that's a very exciting prospect for me because while I'm personally ready for a true sequel to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as I'm somebody who's been playing this game since the Wii U when it was originally released in 2014, it is also something that is nice to see continued support and content, and legitimately at the end of this thing doubling the amount of supported tracks in this game. It still has a vast online community around it. The mechanics still play and feel great to this day, and it does truly make sense on why Nintendo chose to go the route of continued support with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as opposed to just starting over with something new, because to be quite transparent, the game just won't stop selling. We're quickly approaching the 50+ million copies sold for this. It's already there if you add in the Wii U titles that were sold on that console. Like, it is a wildly successful franchise for Nintendo at this point, and they figured they don't want to chop off the feet too early from Mario Kart. Let's just wait until the next system to get some kind of new iteration. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will ultimately be close to a 10-year game when it comes to its full-on level of support and changes all along the way when we wrap the bow on this thing at the end of 2023. But the reason I want to discuss this with you all today is, as mentioned, there was a ton of news that came out from that Nintendo Direct presentation. Metroid Prime Remastered, the addition of Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance consoles hitting NSO, a much deeper detailed look at Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Pikmin 4 got a July release date. Somewhere in the middle of that whole event was, of course, the expected segment of Wave 4 being confirmed for spring, and to many people's surprise online, not only did we get the official confirmation that Yoshi's Island, a brand new course that looks fantastic, this is not a course from any prior game, this is legitimately a brand new one, like we saw with Sky High Sunday prior to this. But the big announcement here was that Birdo would actually be joining the character roster, now opening up that door of we are not just adding in new tracks, and we should not just expect new tracks with the future waves of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, but actually brand new characters as well, or rather returning characters from the series past. And to get on the same page with the reason that we should be expecting more characters to come, we need to read an interesting tweet, which is where I learned about the news, and then read through a detailed typed up article from Nintendo Everything around exactly what's been spotted here. News: the line below pictures from Wave 5, characters from past games will be added. More returning characters coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass in the future. In the flood of news this week stemming from the latest Nintendo Direct, something fans may have missed is that the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass DLC will be adding even more returning characters in the future. For the first 3 waves, only new tracks were added. However, with the 4th round, Nintendo announced that Birdo is on the way. Confirmation of even more characters were confirmed in the Nintendo Direct recap we posted, but that's something that may have probably been missed. We should be seeing at least 2 more roster additions later in 2023. The 4th round of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass is scheduled for this spring. Yoshi's Island, an entirely new track, has thus far been announced. It's been a little bit of a wild ride for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as of late. Some were definitely taken surprised that Nintendo decided to introduce DLC for the game years after its initial launch. The support didn't stop there though, as we even saw a substantial free update a few months ago that introduced a custom items feature. So the first thing to point out here is that this does sound like returning characters from previous games, so don't necessarily expect this to become Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Ultimate, where we get wide-ranged roster support. Sora from Kingdom Hearts probably isn't joining the pack this time around. We're probably not going to see the broad collaboration like we saw for Smash Ultimate with this game with these last few updates, but rather a few missing characters that you may have nostalgia for could come back. I'm personally rooting for Diddy Kong, maybe the Koopa Paratroopa. That would be one I would like to see return because that was one of my go-tos in Mario Kart Double Dash. Still to this day, my favorite Mario Kart game of all time. Also, side note here, I would love to see the option, if they don't build an entire game around Double Dash in the future, let's at least have a game mode that supports it for those nostalgic for it. They may or may not ever go back to that concept, but I would definitely personally like to see it, and I do think that it would be interesting to not have it as the only way to play, but just an optional game mode, and we very well could see them continue to add in new unexpected additions with the rest of this DLC roadmap for waves 4 through 6. We only got the confirmation of Yoshi's Island being the new stage as far as the tracks that will be added in as part of wave 4, but we should expect a lot of fun levels, maybe some additional from Tour and others from other consoles. There's actually a pretty easy way to narrow down what is left in the DLC update roadmaps because of some leaked music files that were spotted and lined up with the very intro of each track, so you can really go down that rabbit hole if you absolutely want to know what is around the corner. But I am very excited for continued support for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe due to recent game additions like the custom item feature, and then now we're getting returning characters confirmed for each of the remaining 3 waves from the sound of things. And I really want to hear from you guys on who you would like to see return as we wrap up the rest of this DLC. Do you think that there is actually a world where for the next Mario Kart game, Nintendo may actually take that ultimate concept and make it a much broader roster of gaming characters like we saw happen with Smash Ultimate? Do you think it always stays to kind of what it is today, where maybe you get some Splatoon support, you get some Animal Crossing characters, and even characters like Link from Zelda, but it really will just cap out there for Mario? I know I definitely will be advocating for a true up Mario Kart Ultimate at some point in the future. They should even call the next Mario Kart game that, and I will be down to buy it, or just give me Double Dash 2 and I will probably play that until the end of time. But regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.